Hello, everyone. Welcome to my mini lecture. Today, we will follow the soldering plan to perform the soldering of combustible gas detection circuits. The learning objective is to assemble a complete combustible gas detection circuit according to the process requirements of electronic products. Key point: complete the circuit assembly independently according to the circuit diagram. Difficult point: the soldering of components. Please check the tools, components, and materials we prepared before the lesson. Prepare the components according to the component list and check them to ensure that all of them can be used normally. Next, we will proceed to the soldering process. During the process, please adhere to the code for safe use of electricity. First, we will proceed with soldering the resistor. Insert resistors into the PCB correctly according to the resistance values before soldering. The soldering method is carried out in accordance with according to the soldering requirements previously learned. Next, we will solder the base of the dual operational amplifier. Insert the base of LM358 into position U1 on the PCB, ensuring the notch on the base aligns with the notch of the component symbol on the PCB before soldering. Solder the nonpolar capacitor. Insert the capacitor correctly according to its capacitance value before soldering. Solder the LED. Pay attention to the polarity. The longer pin is the positive electrode while the shorter pin is the negative electrode. Solder electrolytic capacitors. Insert the capacitors correctly according to their capacitance values, ensuring the correct polarity before soldering. Solder trimmer potentiometers. Insert the trimmer potentiometers into the positions R2 and R4 on the PCB in the correct direction before soldering. Solder the terminal block. Insert the terminal block into the correct position on the PCB with the wiring port facing outward, then solder it. Solder the gas sensor. Insert the gas sensor into the position J2 on the PCB correctly before soldering. Finally, insert the dual operational amplifier LM358 into the base with its notch corresponding to the base's notch. Install the screws at the four corners of the PCB. To complete the circuit installation. After completing the installation, check for solder skips, cold solder joints, and incorrect soldering. Through this lesson, we have a certain understanding of the soldering methods of various components. 1. The order for soldering components on the PCB is starting from the lower to higher ones, and from smaller to larger ones, ensuring that each installation process does not affect the next process. 2. After inserting the components, their labels should face in a direction that is easy to read, preferably in a left-to-right sequence. 3. Polar components must be installed strictly according to the polarity requirements on the schematic diagram and must not be installed incorrectly. 4. Through-hole components without heat dissipation requirements should be tightly attached to the PCB. Those with heat dissipation requirements should be suspended about 5 mm above the PCB. That's the end of this lesson. Thank you for watching.